original poems or from an author that you love. Before we begin, I want to suggest that you watch this on speaker view as opposed to gallery view. You don't have to do that right now, but once we start. There's going to be 4 parts to this program. Tasha's going to begin with something, and then later on Suzanne, and so on. There are going to be 4 parts. Each participant will have 4 minutes to recite 1 or 2 poems, whatever. It might go over a little bit, that's okay. But don't worry, because we're going to have a second go around. So there's going to be the first people who signed up will be in the first go around, and then in the second go around, it'll be people who have poems to read. Hope that's clear. I will call on those people who signed up first. Then in the second round, Tasha will call on those people. If there's any technical problems, Suzanne and Warren is here to help. If you see anything or hear anything, say something. Okay, so I guess we can begin, Tasha?
Sure. So we thought we'd begin with a poem by Maya Angelou called I Rise, which probably many of you have heard, but she's going to read it to us on YouTube.
Okay,
And
now
then,
I'm going to go to share screen now, okay? So,
are
just-
you okay? Are you sharing it, Warren, or am I?
yes,
You are?
yes, unless I have trouble.
Okay, thank you. So just to tell you, can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah,
After we hear her, at the very end, it's like a sandwich. It's a Maya Angelou sandwich or an I Rise sandwich. She starts, then we have our event, and then we're going to end with a group poem based on what she did, a group poem where we start with the words I rise, and we end with the word, at the very end, we'll tag on the word, and still I rise. So you'll hear that poem is the way she has structured her poem. Okay, go for it, Maya.
okay, yep, just a second. Let's see.
And maybe you all want to be on speaker view now.
With your bitter, twisted lies, you may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, there I go.
Thank you, Maya Angelou.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
She is beautiful.
Right. Very good.
So that should inspire us as we open up our own open mic poetry.
Okay, so first up is Warren.
I'm sorry, Leda, let me interrupt. We're getting some mild feedback. So I think it would help if everybody turns off their mics, mute yourself until you are actually speaking, please.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Oh, are we ready? Okay. I'm going to read a poem called Poetry Reading by Wisla Szymborska. It'll be in English. To be a boxer or not to be there at all. Oh, Muse, where are our teeming crowds? 12 people in the room, 8 seats to spare. It's time to start this cultural affair. Half came inside because it started raining, and the rest are relatives. Oh, Muse, the women here would love to rant and rave, but that's for boxing. Here they must behave. Dante's Infernal is ringside nowadays, likewise his paradise. Oh, Muse, oh, not to be a boxer, but a poet. One sends to a hard shallying for life. For lack of muscles forced to show the world, the sonnet that may make the high school reading lists with luck. Oh, Muse, oh, bobtail angel, Pegasus. In the first row, a sweet old man's soft snore. His wife's alive again. What's more, she's making him that tart she used to bake. A flame. But careful, don't burn his cake. We start to read. Oh, Muse.
Okay, I'm gonna turn over the mic to Joanne.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am I on?
yes, and we can see you too.
Okay. Okay. Maya Angelou was a hard act to follow, but Langston Hughes is going to try with Mother to Son. I used this poem when I was working with at-risk students, and they really, I feel, got the message, because life ain't no crystal stair. Okay. Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no there. It's accident and splinters and torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. All right. You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
To start again, it was
Skip it.
muffled.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. And places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all that time, I've been a climbing on and ring landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fool now, for I'm still going. I'm still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Thank you. Done?
Thank you, Joanne.
Okay.
And I'll give the mic over to Kathy. Kathy, are you ready?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, no,
Okay.
no problem. Go,
I don't
yeah.
know what happened. Okay, I have two very short poems, and the first is by Langston Hughes, Dreams. Hold fast to your dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to your dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. And the second one is called Commitment in a City, and it's by Margaret Tusada. On the street, we two pass. I do not know you. I did not see if you are fat or thin or dark or fair or young or old. If we should pass again within the hour, I would not know it. Yet I am committed to love you. You are part of my city, my universe, my being. If you were not here to pass me by, a piece would be missed from my jigsaw puzzle day.
Thank you, Kathy. And I think I'm gonna go because I wrote a poem many years ago. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I wrote a poem called Antidote to Nightmares. Sleep, sweet child. Sleep in the silence of the night. Face the indigo sky and sweetly sleep. Pleasant dreams, sweet child. Sleep with no worries. Your nightmares will be trapped in a web, the web of a dream catcher, hung by the cradle where you sleep and dream so sweetly. This antidote for nightmares hold fast to dreams, tangled by the woven web, then perish in the light of dawn. Good dreams pass through the center of the web of the dream catcher, steering you in the right direction towards harmony, peace, and tranquility. So sleep, sweet child, sleep in the silence of the night. Face the indigo sky and sweetly sleep. Dream so sweetly and do not worry. This antidote of nightmares hung by your cradle will protect you and awaken you in paradise. Thank you. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to Milt. Unmute yourself. Milt, we cannot hear you. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself.
Happy to do so.
Oh, there you go.
Dearest Roberta, with each passing year, I so admire you. Appreciate all you do. My love for you so clear with each passing year. 57 now, side by side. Our love cannot be denied, has grown in every sphere. Heaven on earth, your kindness and caring, your help so unsparing. Each day, a bright rebirth in matters of work and play and raising a family. Your integrity has always paved the way. Yes, Birdie, from the start, I loved you and always will. My life with great joy you fill, my beautiful, lovely sweetheart. Where are you? Okay. Here she is. She wants you to see. Here's my lovely sweetheart.
Here he is.
Sweetheart.
Oh, I have to unmute to say how
that was
beautiful
cute.
that was. That was so beautiful,
It
Milt.
was.
Oh my gosh. Roberta, that was so beautiful. Ay, 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 ay.
Thank you.
Milt, do you want to go? Do you want to read your second poem?
I
Or-
can. It's
Okay.
a line interesting with some of the other poems in terms of subject matter. This is about a woman I so admire, this magnificent liberator. I cherish her and honor her on each and every Seder. Here it is. Harriet Tubman said, I grew up like a neglected weed. Whipped as a child, she worked the fields day and night and prayed so long to be freed. She listened to and spoke with God, knew what to do to be free, escape from hellish bondage on earth, and strive for heavenly liberty. Many times she went back, rescuing courageous hopefuls on the freedom track. The road was hard, risks high, hiding in caves, by swamps, patrols hunting them with guns and bloodhounds. She disguised herself many times as a man. Once, someone scared refused to cross a river. She pointed her gun at him and said, you can. Staying on freedom's track, no going back. Men, women, and children, hardy souls, seeking liberty. You still can hear them. Free at last, long last, we are free. But so much more for full equality. So much more to do for full equality. Did they hear it?
Yes.
I'd like to suggest to people that we can use the chat too, to say any line that pops up to us or anything that we want to say about the reader. I know we haven't done that up to now, but we might want to. Since we're not communicating verbally afterwards at this point, we might want to support one another.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I lost you. I lost you guys. I'm back. Goodness. All right, I'm using my iPad, so it's a little difficult. Milt, are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just suggested.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed, oh goodness.
I just suggested to
Oh,
people
goodness.
that they could write.
I don't
in
know
the
what's going
chat.
on here.
Could somebody perhaps read the chat to Milt? Because I don't know if he can see it.
Sure.
There were three comments.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm gonna go over to Jennifer.
I don't even know if they heard it.
wait, Leda.
Yes.
I had suggested that people write in the chat from now on if they are
Have
so
any-
inspired. And Minette just suggested we just started doing that maybe people want to write in the chat about read to him what we wrote in the chat because of his eyesight.
Okay. Did somebody write something
Yeah,
for him?
yeah.
Minette, do you wanna read it to him?
Actually, I'll read all of them. From Tilla, beautiful. From Suzanne, yes, so much great to do. From me, how passionate, Milt, and that's both of your poems, one to someone close to you now and one to someone close to your beliefs. From Tasha, Milt, the power of your rendition, the power of your gratitude for Roberta. That's from Milt.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go on my computer. Okay, so we're gonna turn it over to Jennifer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me at your poetry slam. I am going to read from Now We Are Six by A.A. Milne. I think this poem sums up a lot about a lot that we lost over COVID, losing our social lives and our best friends that we always hung around with. It was hard for me to not be able to have my sidekick with me during so much of that time. Wherever I am, there's always Pooh. There's always Pooh in me. Whatever I do, he wants to do. Where are you going today? Says Pooh. Well, that's very odd, because I was too. Let's go together, says Pooh, says he. Let's go together, says Pooh. What's twice 11? I said to Pooh. Twice what? Said Pooh to me. I think it ought to be 22. Just what I think myself, said Pooh. It wasn't an easy sum to do, but that's what it is, said Pooh, said he. That's what it is, said Pooh. Let's hunt for dragons, I said to Pooh. Yes, let's, said Pooh to me. We crossed the river and found a few. Yes, those are dragons, all right, said Pooh. As soon as I saw their beaks, I knew. That's what they are, said Pooh, said he. That's what they are, said Pooh. Let's frighten the dragons, I said to Pooh. That's right, said Pooh to me. I'm not afraid, I said to Pooh, and I held his paw and I shouted, shoo, silly old dragons, and off they flew. I wasn't afraid, said Pooh, said he. I'm never afraid with you. So wherever I am, there's always Pooh. There's always Pooh and me. What would I do, I said to Pooh, if it wasn't for you? And Pooh said, true. It isn't much fun for one, but two can stick together, said Pooh, said he. That's how it is, said Pooh.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so next I will turn the mic over to Tilla.
Okay, I just unmuted myself. All right. Okay. So this is not Langston Hughes or Maya Angelou or anybody. This is just me. The dreams of my inner child renewed by me, Tilla Alexander. All of us have our ups and downs. With this, we remember our smiles and frowns. I now invite you to my personal journey, which has allowed me to renew my lapsed creativity. Along the road of life, I lost my way, my dreams, my faith, my talents kept at bay. As a girl of 4 or 5, eager to entertain, singing and dancing whenever I could, envisioning a future of thrills and fame. Growing older amid discouragement, starting to believe I was just no good, sorely dropping my dreams as my family thought I should. Though never did they fully leave and sleep. Would I perform with zest? Whether on stage or on TV, I grew, I soared, I did my best. And then in high school, I had a chance to join the drama guild. Mother thought it a bad idea. Once more, my passion went unfulfilled. Finally, partaking in college acting classes and working with their drama group, be it props or backstage, I became part of the Gershwin Theater troupe. As Walter Mitty's daughter, I acted, sang, and danced, showering love for my daddy. Brightly and gracefully, I pranced with youthful mannerisms and voice, so believable as a girl of 10, though I was double that age. Portraying her was within my ken. For a director's project, Mrs. Atkins in Beyond the Horizon, an old Irish lady I did play, lame and stricken, loud and grumpy, in a wheelchair I had to stay. Somewhat pondered an acting career. Could it happen within the next year? But after a short stint of classes at HB, I decided this pursuit just wasn't for me, at least not professionally. As an ESL instructor, these skills helped me teach through creativity and role play my immigrant students I was able to reach. Now, as I tiptoe into my golden years, a fairly recent retiree, new and exciting things are truly coming to me. Through playwriting, improv, and acting classes, feeling I'm now getting my boarding passes to once again find my inner child using those performing skills I've compiled. The UFT Players, when I first heard about it, I thought, wow, what such a cool team. And then to be asked to join their executive board greatly lifted my self-esteem. Working so hard on breaking news, my original play being chosen one of the winners, I was thrilled, I must say. Though performing on Zoom was quite a new thing, through rehearsals, reflection, and support, it did bring success and fulfillment to all on my team. And now on YouTube, I'm able to stream. The Global Play Brigade, a new resource for me. This wonderful group has provided a new key. We connect and pay it forward through activities of play, changing our world in so many ways. Educators, performers, psychologists, and clowns, through music, movement, improv, and more, positivity, empathy, passions do soar. Though teaching for me, I thought at an end, a new opportunity arrived from around the bend, teaching now 3 classes per week, new and old skills I'd been able to tweak. So in essence, lately, I've been able to find how to embark on the creativity for which I was so inclined. My childhood dreams and my inner child are now joyfully being reconciled. So that was my poem.
Thank you, thank you. I know you have a second poem. Do you want to go in the second go around so that we can have, do you want to do it now or you want to do it in the
I
second?
could do it now if you let me, because it's only 20 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Okay. It's called, let me get it. It's not working right. Okay, it's called Welcoming This Day, and I wrote it way back March 21st. So it's very short. It's March 21st, the second day of spring. With heartfelt joy, we start to sing. And happy Nowruz, the Persians do say, which in English means happy new day. Passover and Easter are coming soon. Redemption and rebirth to be sung in tune. Enjoying once more long walks on the streets and partaking with my friends lots of treats. The pandemic we expect soon to diminish, though they say not really totally finished. Taking small steps, I now vaccinated, socializing and dinners out, happy times to be created. And so let's say in unison as one, we're glad you're here, dear March 21.
Thank you, Tilla. Okay, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Liz.
Okay, everyone, this is a poem that I wrote years ago for a poetry class. Be careful the rain doesn't catch you. Rain staggers the rooftops, sidewalks, and streets. It slivers into crevices and puddles around potholes. Be careful, the rain doesn't catch you. It beads your hair and at times only miss. You think no umbrella, not today. The rain will stop falling, but be careful, the rain doesn't catch you. The clouds settle in with no let up in sight. My thoughts a pinwheel of worry and fear. Be careful, the rain doesn't catch you. What will happen if my umbrella doesn't open? Or open that breaks apart, or I catch a cold, pneumonia? Be careful, the rain doesn't catch you. The world of gig stops as it must. Drenched I stand and taste the sweet drops that trickle down my face. No longer careful, the rain has caught me unawares. I smile, the storm has passed.
That's perfect. I got caught in the rain yesterday, so that's
Yeah.
nice to hear. It was terrible yesterday. After spending hours in the hospital. Thank you, Liz. Okay.
I have another one if you want to hear it.
Yeah. No, I know. We all do anyway.
Okay.
We all have to be careful.
No,
But
I said
thank you.
I have another poem if you
Yes,
want to hear
go
it.
right ahead.
This is a concrete poem. It means it's concrete because it looks like what the title of the poem is. Tiger butterfly. The moon shone like a tiger butterfly. It spread its wings and rose into the deep sky. O'er fields of white carnations, it hung suspended, fastened by invisible pins shooting from our eyes. That's it.
Okay. Tasha, I pass the mic over to you.
Okie dokie. Let me find my piece. This one is called Grace. That particular sperm of my papa's, the one that had my initials on it, that marathon swimmer that made it all the way up that birth canal faster than any other swimmers, that Olympian, that archer who scored a bullseye, who carried the chromosome that shouted, "It's a girl," who met mom's egg in the dark of her insides, juicy and welcoming on that particular night, on that particular date, some 7 months prior to my hatching. Well, that is Grace. I mean, let's face it, an unexpected gift. And if that wasn't enough, Dianu, my dad, well, he met my mom at a wedding. If he had not met the groom on a subway car, the L train to Brooklyn many months earlier, if my mom had not met the bride in bookkeeping school some several years before, well, then they wouldn't have been invited by the groom and bride to the wedding where they met. Or if my dad had had the flu and couldn't make the wedding, or my mom had PMS and didn't feel up to snuff, well, then they wouldn't have met, courted, produced that egg and sperm that just happened by stroke of luck, by grace, to make me. Yep, Grace. And if that wasn't enough, Dianu, if there hadn't been an incubator for me to hatch in those last 6 weeks when, like a baby chick, I needed extra heat and warmth, preemie me, only 3 pounds, 5 ounces, then I wouldn't have walked arm in arm with my dad on the golf course at Elmwood Country Club one drizzly autumn day when he declared with passion, life is a gift. Well, it is, indisputably. Worthy of shouting from the highest rooftop, worthy of yawling between every blade of grass. Thank you, sperm and egg, L train, bride and groom, wedding, incubator, golf course, papa, leaf, tree, rooftop, for this gift, this unexpected grace of this body, which basks today on the patio of Casa Teacup in the dusty mountains of central Mexico, in a tiny home just snug enough for my preemie self. Today, some 72 years after my birth, some X number of days before, well, before grace moves me on, making way, of course, for the next batch of chromosomes to take my place on the escalator of life. Dayenu.
I love it. I laughed through the whole thing. Okay, so we're gonna stop here. The other people can go in the second round. So Tasha, I think we're ready. No, Suzanne, we're ready for your piece.
Okay, so Tasha and Leda asked me to put the video that you're going to see into a little context for you. And like Tilla, when I retired from the DOE, I kept teaching. And I work with the graduate students in dance education at NYU while they are student teaching. And this year, you can imagine what student teaching was like, with most, if not all, instruction being remote. And what they were telling me they were hearing from their cooperating teachers was they were hoping that they could find some way to help their students feel as if they were still together and dancing together and creating art together. And they were also very concerned about infusing social justice into their curriculum, everything that the country has been through, I'm sure. So when I heard Amanda Gorman's inauguration poem, The Hill We Climb, I kind of thought that that would be a way to address both of those things, and also perhaps teach my student teachers' students what how choreography can be inspired by spoken word. Most of the time when we see dance, it's dance to music. So we thought we'd try this out ourselves before they did it with their own students. And so we created this video to Amanda Gorman's poem, which Warren is going to share now.
Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
I have goosebumps all over. That was beautiful. Thank you,
Amazing.
Suzanne. That was really awesome. Thank you. So Tasha, you're taking over the second part, right? Yeah.
So I just want to piggyback on what Leda said. That was exquisite, just exquisite, Suzanne. Oh my gosh.
Tasha, maybe we can go around like briefly. Everyone can say what they felt about it. Do you
Sure,
wanna-
that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and let's share whatever you feel like sharing from this first part of our poetry. Let's give each person a chance to do that. So let's all come back on gallery for this part. Okay, and I'm just going to call on people in the order of my screen, which you don't know what the order of my screen is, but it's Warren and then Milt and then Joanne are the first three. Warren, you have to unmute when you're speaking.
Okay, I am very impressed with all the poets, their heartfelt sincerity, their just love of humanity, and their hope for the best in all of us and all the wishes for good things to come to all of us. All very artistic, one thing very different from the other. I have to say that I was really overwhelmed by Suzanne's ability with the Zooming. How, I have to see her privately to find out how she did all that. But it's good. We all reached our potential with this.
No, we have to only communicate via Zoom, Warren, so for now. So we'll Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you, Warren. Next is Milt, followed by Joanne, Kathy, and Deborah.
Tasha, are we responding to all the poets?
Whatever you want to say up until now, anything.
Oh, well, I've got to say, I was very impressed with the range and depth of all the poems presented today, whether original or published or whatever. And I found the synthesis of word and movement and dance and emotion and profound meaning in the piece that Suzanne brought us. It was just so heartwarming, so heart aching at times, and so hopeful at other times that it all added up to inspirational motivation for us, humanity, to get going and have some democracy in this world that we live in.
Thank you, Milt. Joanne, Kathy, Deborah, Suzanne, Liz.
All right, in regard to the student teaching part, all across the board, I said that must be the hardest thing to do. And what they did was really amazing. And I've seen some of Suzanne's other students on Zoom, and it was just terrific. I mean, amazing what they did. And we have some talented people, seriously talented people over at NYU, and we have some seriously talented poets, it really seems to me, on this board. Milt, that was such a nice thing for your life. Yeah, really. I think we were all moved by it. Very nice. And Tilla, you summed up everybody's life more or less. And Liz with her reign, and Tasha with your birth. I mean, they were really wonderful poems, and they reflect so much talent among 25 people. And it's very nice to see all this. Thank you.
Well, can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely agree that you are one creative bunch. All of you. I mean, it is amazing what you've done. I mean, Milt, your poem to your wife, it was just beautiful. Tilla, Joanne's reading, everybody. Tasha, I loved yours. I absolutely love that. And I loved everybody's, and Suzanne, what you put together is just remarkable. And congratulations. And I think this shows us what can be done with this platform of Zoom, because we never would have done this. I just think you're all marvelous, and I admire you all. Kudos.
I'm just going to take a commercial break here to say that people who haven't read yet will have a chance to read. So hang in there. And also people who have read one poem or participated in the first go round, everybody will have an opportunity to go at least twice today. So just to let you know that, and we'll have a wrap up at the end. So we don't have to say everything in the world right now. Deborah?
Good afternoon. Yes, hi. Well, it was all very inspirational, I feel. And watching the beautiful movements of Suzanne's students, it gives you faith in the next generation, I'm telling you. It's very touching, very wonderful to see.
Yes, yes.
Being a dancer myself, you know, I'm particularly drawn to it, of course.
Very nice.
So who's making these comments? Dennis? Someone's talking.
There's a, I was given the phone number by Leona Ackerman.
Well,
Okay.
welcome. Welcome. So glad to have you. And let's all put ourselves on mute unless you are speaking.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Anyway, there's so much to say and much has already been said. So it's wonderful to see the range and the different thoughts, emotions, passions, and very personal emotions of Milt, for example. What a wonderful love poem.
Wonderful.
So those are my feelings.
That's wonderful.
Dennis, put yourself on mute, okay?
Yes.
Suzanne, Liz, Jennifer, Jeanette.
Listen. Ed, just listen.
Yes.
So your time will come soon, Ed.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be inviting you just after this break.
Poetry is powerful. It makes us think. It makes us feel. I wish you could have seen what my students did with their own projects. But of course, there are all these kinds of video releases and stuff when you're using students. But they created things. It was mostly middle school and high school students, but they created things in some ways even more powerful than what my students did with it. So
very good.
And we're all performers. So this comes over, it's even more powerful. And Jennifer, you just passed your audition. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you for including me.
Thank you. Thank you, Suzanne. So next is Liz, Jennifer, Minette, and then Tilla.
I was extremely impressed by everything that I saw and I heard, especially Suzanne's piece, which was put together with all these different kinds of dances and students. It was like a real potpourri. And I enjoyed all the poems. Poems showed so much talent that we have in the UFT Players. I'm honored to be a partner of them. And I don't want to really single out anyone because I liked all of them so much. Okay, that's about all that I have to say.
Thank you, Liz. Jennifer?
I'm very excited to have been included in this high caliber performance piece, and I look forward to the next one in which I may dare to write my own poem, and to a future with the UFT Players. And thank you, Leda, for including me.
Thank you. Welcome, and that's delightful that you're here. Minette, Tilla, Leda, Ashria.
Okay, so I think. You finished, Leona?
She'll call on you, Leona.
Okay.
Leona, she'll call on you. She'll call on you.
It's your turn yet, Leona. You'll get it. Leda, I mean, everybody mute until it's your turn. Minette?
So I think we were all lifted out of the realm of our ordinary life, which we much need now. And these poems and performances made me feel enlightened. And Suzanne, I wrote it in the chat. That was like dance sign language. I think you could patent that. That's it.
Thank you, Minette. Tilla, Leda, Ashria, and then followed by Leona and Barbara and Ed Harris, wherever you are.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
I don't have too much to add. I loved it all. I was in a rather somber mood today and you really lifted my spirits. I'm so proud to be part of your group. And I loved everybody's poems. I loved even the people who read other people's poems, did such a great job. You're all great performers. And Suzanne, what can I say? I always loved Amanda Gorman's poem, but when you put it to dance, it was so fantastic. And I wondered, when you did it, did they know they were moving to those words, or did they just have fluid movement and you put it together with the script, with the poem?
No,
So-
Attila, they were assigned specific lines to
Oh.
choreograph. Good question. Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm really proud of all of you.
Leda, Ashria, Leona, Barbara, and Ed. That's the order.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't reiterate everything what everybody said. It's been such a nice event so far. I love the poems, the creativity, the authenticity of everyone. And Suzanne, I had goosebumps. I saw it before, but for some reason, being in this platform, it just really, got to my heart. It was beautiful. So thank you everyone for, being here and for sharing your heart with us.
Thank you. Ashria? You have to unmute, please.
I don't belong into this group. I'm a friend of Tilla, but I love poetry. I used to write poetry when I was younger, much younger. I don't get the muse now, but I appreciate your poems. They are beautiful, very moving. And I especially love the Suzanne's dancers to the poem. This is really something, but I love dancing too, which I do. I don't do real dancing, but I belong to Dance for PD because my husband had the Parkinson, and they have a Dance for PD sessions where they dance. Some of their instructors take a poem and they dance to it. They make movements to it. So I really appreciate it. You did a great job, all of you.
Well, that's a wonderful contribution you just made, Ashria. And welcome. We're thrilled to have you here with us. Leona, and then Barbara and Ed.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm on. There's very little left to say. I was truly blown away by Suzanne's group. It shows us that there is both beauty and dance in music and in poetry. It was really, really touching. All the poems that were read today, whether they were written by the people themselves, self-composed, or read from someone else's poetry, all show an optimism and a hope in both today and in the future. And they gave me great hope for what's to come, even though we've been separated and apart for all of this time. So they were all very touching, and I really felt really blown away by the amount of talent in this group. And they said all the things that I feel inside also. Thank you.
Thank you, Leona. Barbara, and then Ed. And then we'll get on to round two.
I was so moved by the variety of poems and the levels of emotion, because some of them had a touch of longing, a touch of sadness, a touch of humor. And what was the best, they didn't follow any particular structural form, but they were all.
Oh, we lost you, Barbara.
Barbara, you're frozen, I'm sorry to say. Well, Ed, we'll move on to you, and if Barbara unfreezes, we'll go back to her. Ed, welcome.
Thank you very much. I have two poems.
Okay, we're not up to that section, Ed, but we will be very soon.
Okay, yeah.
Did you just join us?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we're delighted to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ed. And now what we're gonna,
Tasha,
oh, good, Barbara. Okay, Barbara, you're back.
don't forget Dennis.
Oh, okay, Dennis too. Barbara and then Dennis.
Yes.
Barbara, you have to unmute, please.
Okay, I was saying that the beautiful thing about the dance, it tore away props, scenery. We didn't need any of it, and it really worked. Usually, you know that I like music, but the words in the dance were music. They created an ensemble. It was beautiful. Thank you, Suzanne. You have to be thrilled. It's a whole new thing.
Thank you, Barbara.
Well,
Dennis?
thank you.
Hello, Dennis. Good to have you with us wherever you are. I don't know where you are. Maybe you're under Warren's.
No, it's not under my roof.
And we lost Joanne. I don't see Joanne.
Oh, yeah, Joanne.
Oh, just a
I
few
don't know
words.
if she's on.
Oh, I hear Dennis.
Okay.
Just a few words to tell you it was such a pleasant thing to do on a June afternoon like this, to hear everyone speaking the beautiful words. It was really, really, and is really, really wonderful. The group, there's such camaraderie, there's such beauty in your unity and your obvious admiration and devotion to each other. So I'm very moved. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dennis. So I'll just add that I'm aware that we are all actors because everybody that presented theirs was very theatrical. And it takes a certain oomph to present a poem well. So I'm proud of all of us. So now we move on to an opportunity for anybody who had not signed up for it and who has not read yet to read something of your own or someone else's. And after that, we'll go on to the second and probably last go around, which will be the opportunity for anybody who yet has another poem, whether you've read before today, you know, in today's session or not, to take a final.
Tasha, I'm signed up. Aren't we in a certain order or something?
Okay, I didn't realize you were signed up, but
I signed up a long time ago.
okay, well, thank you for reminding us. So
No, you didn't, Debbie, but.
Yes, I did. I responded to you twice.
all right. So anyway, Deborah, you will read first and then Ed, and who else wants to read that hasn't read yet? Okay, so here's the order. Deborah, Ed Harris, Minette, Leona, who else? Raise your hand, please. Okay, it'll be those four, and then we'll have the final opportunity for everybody to read one more time. Okay, Deborah, please. And remember, you can write comments in chat. Let's all go back to speaker view while we do our readings for the next portion.
Okay, I'm not on. Can you see? You can't see me, can you?
Yes, you're on speaker view.
Oh, I see you, so I don't see me.
No, you don't see yourself when you're on speaker
Right.
view.
All righty. This poem reflects my love of nature, and that's what drew me to it. And it's an Apache prayer. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for offering us. That's a beautiful prayer. Okay, Ed Harris.
This is a child's poem. It's a Lithuanian Yiddish child's poem. I'll say it in English and then I'll say it in Yiddish.
Great,
in English, it's the lamp. In the corner, the lamp burns bright. 1, 2, 3. Turn the lamp wick down, and it's dark as night. 1, 2, 3. Had the lamp remained burning, I would have kept studying my learning, and my worries would have gone away, not returning. 1, 2, 3. Now here's in Yiddish. Der Lempel brennt in Winkel, ein stray dry. Gegeben a dray, wird der Tinkle, ein stray dry. Wollt der Lempel brennen, wollt my terrors vergessen, wollt my lessons vergessen, ein stray dry.
Thank you, Ed, for both of those renditions. And thank you for joining us today. That's wonderful.
Thank
you. I don't recall what order I said next. Dennis, are you planning to read something today?
No, thank you.
Okay. I
I
think
was next, Sasha.
Leona was next, right?
I was.
Okay, Minette, and then I believe Leona. Okay.
Okay, so I don't have a title for this. Don't think of the old, think of the new. Old is the shoe with dug-in creases that holds the shape of your foot even when you take it off. Old are the aches and pains which sing to you at unexpected times of the day. Your groans, music you compose to accompany you out of your chair. Old is the pilling on your favorite lilac sweater and the brown sweat stains that no longer wash out. Old is the feeling in the morning when you pull yourself out of bed on dark, cold, wintry days. The clutter of papers clogging your desk, your dining room table, even the secret pile in your closet. Old smells, old stinks, but new is pink and smooth as the newest born baby, shiny as an unused quarter, hiding in a crevice between the pillows of the sofa. As the new white blouse crinkling out of its tissue paper package before you've worn it even once. New might be the face of a man with no eyes, dusty corners filled with darkness, a lonely road with no signs. New may have the feel of a bad dream, the fear you felt when you were 5 and mommy left you all alone. New may feel like having your head pushed underwater, but don't forget to open your eyes. It's just new, but you don't know it yet.
Thank you so much, Minette. That's wonderful. Let's see, who is next? Leona?
Hi, all. I have 2 poems, one very short and one a little bit longer if I can find it on my cell phone, which I keep losing. Maybe it's there. Okay. Now, it seems to me that everyone has been into dreams, thinking about what happened in the past, what happened in the future. And though this has been read already, I would like to read it again. I always taught this to my 3rd grade class whenever we did a play, because to me, it signifies everything that one needs to have in one's life, which is dreams, by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow.
Wow, thank you.
Beautiful.
And the second one is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. It seems to me that throughout my life, I have always second guessed myself, what if? So this poem speaks a lot to me, if one can find it. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. That was very strong and powerful. Let's see, who else is, I don't remember the order. Does anybody remember who I called on next? I don't see you on my screen. Speak out. If you wanted to read and you haven't had a chance, speak out, please.
Have a poem?
Who?
Barbara.
Barbara? Barbara Haspel?
Yes, no, I have no poem today.
Okay. Is
I
there
have no
something else?
Madison.
Thank you, Barbara, being here, for being our audience. And
it's a pleasure.
Bringing your grace. So is there someone else who hasn't read yet? Just speak out if I haven't called on you. All right, then in that case, this is our final go around.
Wait, I think Oshira wants.
Oshria put her finger up.
Oh, great, Ashriya. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for pointing that out. Okay, Ashriya, you're on.
You have to unmute.
I didn't write my own poem, but last Sunday we had my husband's unveiling, the memorial stone, and my son read this poem to all those who were present. It's a beautiful poem. It was written by, it's called We Remember Them, by Sylvan Kamens and Rabbi Jack Reimer. So, in the rising of the sun and in its growing down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of the sun, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. So long as we live, he too will live, for he is now a part of us as we remember them. Birth is a beginning and death is a destination, but life is a journey, a going, a growing from stage to stage, from childhood to maturity, and youth to old age, from innocence to awareness, and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or strength to weakness, and often back again, from health to sickness, and back we pray to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, from grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward and ahead, we see the that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death is destination, but life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage, made stage by stage to life everlasting.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashria, for offering that to us and for
Beautiful.
telling us that that was at the unveiling. Thank you.
Everybody was moved very much, was very moving.
Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us just now. So I think now is, can everybody come on gallery for a minute? Can I see the hands of people that want to read? Have for this last go around? Okay, I'll call them out. Liz, who else? Yeah, Warren, you're gonna go at the end.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Liz, is it Kathy? Who else? Leda. And me, Tasha. Anyone else? All righty, then please go back to speaker view. And the first one will be Liz.
Know how to do that.
This was written a long time ago. The only show in town. The thin last week of morning before daylight touches face and hand. Memories dance like painted choreens under the carnival lights of dreams. First moving slowly, seductively, they strut their stuff. Then spinning, twirling faster, ever faster, lipstick sequins rouge merge into a rose-colored wave. Suddenly they drop like marionettes cut down from their strings, and sunlight floods the stage. I tried to go back to touch the gaudy figures, but the show is over. They were so tawdry, yet so beguiling, so familiar, and alas, they are the only show in town.
Thank you, Liz. Okay, and you might want to check, everybody remember after you've read to check the chat. Okay, who did I call on next? There was someone else. Oh, I have a list. Kathy.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to write something original. So this is it's something I'm just obsessed with, my voice. So it's called My Voice. Someone always says, speak up, I can't hear you. And I am quite near you. What did you say? Vocal cord paralysis? Well, I never heard of that until today. Sometimes I just feel so sad because I think I sound so bad. I say, I'm sorry I can't be heard. I'm speaking quietly and squeaking like a little bird. Most people are very kind and say, don't you worry, honey, it'll be okay. I really shouldn't complain because I have no pain. I'm able to swallow and I don't choke. And that's really a good thing. That's no joke. Although my voice may sound weak when I speak, there is no denying I will keep on trying.
So Kathy, that was really, I'm so grateful that you read that to us. Thank you so much. Okay, the next one is Leda.
Okay, I wrote this poem about a month ago. I took a class on Zoom, of course, called Nurturing Your Inner Child. And I know this is about poems, but I want to show you an art piece that I that I did first. And it's called The Journey of My Heart. The Journey of My Heart. I found my child within my heart. Today she'll have a fresh new start. I reached inside just to find a lovely girl, so sweet and kind. I extended my hand rather deep. I just knew she's one to keep. I felt her weeping to the core. There's no need to cry anymore. As feelings emerge of hurt and fright, we hugged each other ever so tight. I sensed the pain she needed to feel. Inside my heart, she needs to heal.
Oh, Leda, you're mute.
Oh,
You just became mute. Just
oh,
for
I forgot.
last time.
I'm like in the middle, so I'm gonna start over. I'm sorry. It's called The Journey of My Heart. I found my heart I found my child within my heart. Today she'll have a fresh new start. I reached inside just to find a lovely girl, so sweet and kind. I extended my hand rather deep. I just knew she's one to keep. I felt her weeping to the core. There's no need to cry anymore. As feelings emerged of hurt and fright, we hugged each other ever so tight. I sensed the pain she needed to feel. Inside my heart, she needs to heal. Her anger was restrained by fear. Her cluttered mind, she needs to clear. All these years, she did survive. Now it's time for her to thrive. I know that she is very strong. She is now where she belongs. I will teach her what she needs to know, and like a flower, she will grow. She will not be abandoned. I'm here to stay. She'll be in my heart where I found her today. Together we'll be, we will not part. Today I found her within my heart.
I'm gonna go on a limb later and ask you if you'd like to show us that drawing that you showed us there.
Okay.
I believe it came from the same class. No, the other one. We saw
Oh, no,
this one.
yeah, but this one is for the poem, but I want to see the other one, okay?
That is the beautiful one. Yeah.
You see the profile of the man?
Yes.
See the profile?
Yes.
Leda,
Thank
say
you.
the ABCs so that you come onto the screen, because you're in speaker view. Talk while you show it to us, so
Okay.
it comes on big.
Oh, so
So
speak,
keep
I
the
don't have,
sound going.
okay.
Just hum a tune or do something so that you'll be big when you show the picture.
Oh, I see, okay.
Otherwise.
I was on, okay. Yeah, so this is, do you see it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Leda. That was in an expressive arts class you took, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna read my poem and then we're gonna go, Leda's gonna lead us into a group poem. So let me find my,
Would there be time for me to read another poem?
Asha, can I just say something?
yeah,
My my computer went off, so I missed Liz and whoever followed her. I'm sorry.
okay, thank you for
And I
letting.
think Debbie has another poem.
Yes, Debbie, why don't you read yours and then I'll read mine.
Okay. Actually, when I was in high school, my teacher had us published in the Dewville Anthology. So here is the poem. It's called Brief Interlude. The snow has fallen gently through the night, covering the streets, so steeped in dreams. escape and respite from the day that teems with life. Then come the rays of morning light, and all behold a world of dazzling white that nature sent, a magic world that seems so fresh, so new, untouched by man. It gleams and sparkles with an awe-inspiring might. But not for long does snow and splendor stay, though for this moment peace may come to man, and all the world may slow its hectic pace. The snow, like time, must move along its way. Eternity has called, and as by plan, it vanishes, and man resumes his race.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now I'm going to read a poem. I wrote this in a class where the prompt was, I am no longer waiting for. So let me find it. Okay, here it is. I am no longer waiting for Santa Claus to come. Every day is Christmas if I rise with awareness. I am no longer waiting for fresh gingerbread from Gretel's cottage. My cottage lives inside me and goes with me where I go. I am no longer waiting for Mr. Right. First of all, it may be Ms. Right for all I know. Secondly, I am the Ms. Right I've been waiting for and am growing into, like my socks that fit snugly over my feet. I am no longer waiting for autumn to arrive. Perhaps it is autumn now, the autumn of my life, which is a resplendent season, ripe with the perfume of gentle tide. I am no longer waiting for someone else to figure it all out for me. I'm not meant to figure it all out. In fact, if I am guided to do the next right thing, then days will unfold like a magic carpet. I am no longer waiting for answers to the mystery. I think I've always loved the mystery, but it is not the game of blind man's bluff it used to be. I am no longer waiting for a perfect scorecard. Perfection and I parted ways a long time ago, thank goodness. Perfection was an agony. Acceptance is my very best friend, and when I stroke my heart, it breathes life into me. I am no longer spinning in circles, running to Est for the magic bullet, therapist shopping for the wisest shrink in town. I learn from others. I am teachable, especially when I slow down to invite in quiet, to invite you in, to breathe space between my bones. I am no longer waiting for an instruction manual. Although there is guidance, it doesn't come to me like a white knight on horseback, but in surprising ways. The pink bud that sat amongst the green quietly by the roadside as I walked with my friend. The curve of grooves in my chopstick. The celebration of a friend's birthday, the dream at night that does for me what I cannot do for myself. I am no longer waiting to be an artist. In fact, we are all artists. I am your midwife and you are mine. And let's not forget the source, the greatest midwife of all. I am no longer waiting for you to call or someone to say, speak up to cure the boredom. If I want something, I must say something clearly with prayers for willingness. I am no longer waiting for the harsh voice of judgment to be cast away. I simply say, bless you, change me, and it melts. I am, however, waiting for death. It walks beside me even on the best of days. It continues to be my task to make friends with it. That's it.
Very good.
Okay, so now, Warren, should we do your poem now before we do the group poem?
Yes, because this is really dedicated to the individual poet who may join a poetry reading group. It's called It's All I Have to Bring Today by Emily Dickinson. It's all I have to bring today, this and my heart beside. This and my heart and all the fields and all the meadows wide. Be sure you count, should I forget. Someone with some could tell. This and all my heart and all the bees which in the clover dwell.
Thank you, Warren. We had a Warren sandwich today with you beginning and you ending. And now we're going to have our own special sandwich. Lada's going to lead us, and I am going to share screen. Let's see how I do that. So I can write down our group poem.
So, Tasha, you want them on gallery view, right?
Yes.
Yeah, gallery view.
A gallery view, thank you.
So I'm gonna go down the line. I'm gonna go to participants and read the names going down. And you're gonna start with, actually I'm gonna go, we're gonna start with I rise and then you say something. So I'm gonna start, give you an example. I rise with the sun, waiting for the blessings of the day. Deborah. You have to unmute.
Sorry. My spirit is awakening, opening my eyes and heart to the coming hours, minutes, the coming days, day, I should say.
Okay. Wait, maybe you have to, yeah.
Tasha, do you want them to start with I rise?
Yes.
Yes. It's okay, Debbie.
It's fine, Debbie. That fits
I
beautiful.
don't know what we're doing, so.
Okay, that fits.
That was beautiful. That's fine. But the line should start with I rise, and then yeah, that's okay, Debbie. That's fine. That was beautiful.
Beautiful, Debbie, what
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah, Kathy.
Okay. I rise with hopes of beauty for the day that is sunny. I rise with the hopes of beauty for the day that is sunny and makes us all feel special.
Suzanne.
I rise because I must. I rise because I can.
Liz.
I rise with arms outstretched, ready to embrace all the day has to offer.
I'm sorry. I rise with the arms outstretched, and then what comes next?
Ready to embrace.
Ready to embrace.
Okay, Minette.
Something after to embrace.
Ready to embrace all that the day has to offer.
All that. Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, Minette.
I rise, I follow my nose to the kitchen where pancakes release their aroma.
Okay, Tilla.
I rise, longing for my first cup of coffee and eager to write in my gratitude journal.
Oh, she's fast.
Okay, Milt.
I rise to create with others a bright new day with justice for all.
Thank you. Oshira? Oshria? Unmute. Oshria, you need to unmute.
I rise wishing for love and peace at home and in the world.
Barbara?
I rise to be now.
I rise what?
I rise to be now, to sing, to swing, to speak, to rap, to forget all the old stuff, and to be part of it now.
Okay, so you're gonna have to repeat that if you remember it. I rise to be now, to sing, to swing,
to speak, to rap, to speak.
To rap, to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be part of it now, to embrace it now.
To speak.
To be part of what's now. To embrace
now, part of what's now. Yeah, what else?
To embrace the new.
Embrace the new.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
And Leona, did you go? Yeah, you went, right, Leona? No. Go ahead, Leona.
Oh, okay. All right. I rise with joy and hope for the morn, for the day, for the future, for my family, for the world, for my dreams.
Your family.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Ooh.
Okay, who do I, Warren?
I rise to feed the cat and start a new day.
Okay. Milton.
I think I got everyone, right?
No, there's still Ed and Dennis and me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tasha, yeah. Is Dennis there? I don't see him.
Joanne.
I didn't go, yeah.
Oh, I know, I didn't see him.
Oh, Kathy, you went, right.
Yes, but
I'm
I
sorry.
was saying Joanne.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was still with us. Go ahead, Joanne.
Okay. I rise with good, warm, loving feeling that will sustain me through the day.
I'm sorry, with good, warm, loving
feelings
feelings.
that will sustain me through the day.
What happened?
Okay, I believe
Is Dennis there or Ed? Yeah, I don't know if they're still there. Dennis? Ed? Okay, Tasha?
Okay, I rise with readiness to say the prayers of please, thank you, and wow.
And wow.
Please, thank you, and wow. And wow, and we end with, and still I rise.
Yeah.
And still I rise. Barbara Haspel.
I'm here.
You
Yes.
have not read anything. Would you be willing to read this poem back to us?
The whole poem?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Tasha.
From the beginning.
Tasha,
Yeah.
do you want to make the corrections now? It's just a few corrections.
Right, tell me where.
Okay, so the word outstretched, there's a space after ready. That's minor, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then gratitude in raise first cup of coffee and eager to write my gratitude journal.
Gratitude. Okay.
And I rise to be now, to swing. You have to put that all in just put it up. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah. And then the word readiness in yours. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Barbara, would you read it for us?
I'll try. Okay. I rise with the sun, waiting for the blessings of the day. My spirit is awakening, opening my heart to the coming hours, minutes, day. I rise with the hopes of beauty for the day that is sunny and makes us all feel special. I rise because I must. I rise because I can. I rise with outstretched arms, ready to embrace all that the day has to offer. I rise, I follow my nose to the kitchen, where pancakes release their aroma. I rise for my first cup of coffee and eager to write in my gratitude journal. I rise to create with others a bright new day with justice for all. I rise wishing for love and peace at home and in the world. I rise to be now, to sing, to swing, to rap, to speak, to be part of what's now, to embrace the new. Wow. I rise with joy and hope for the morn, for the day, for the future, for the family, for the world, for my dreams. I rise to feed the cat and start a new day. I rise with good, warm, loving feelings that will sustain me through the day. I rise with readiness to say the prayers of please, thank you, and wow. And still I rise. Great.
Beautiful reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasha. And there's a lot of good in there.
And Tasha's gonna make copies and send it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this, I'll send it to the whole board.
Yeah.
Good.
Shreya, later, maybe you can send it to,
I could send it to Shreya. I could send it to
Yeah.
her.
And you
Yeah.
can send it to Jennifer.
Yes,
Jennifer,
I will.
here?
No, she had to leave. She had,
okay.
she had a prior commitment.
Home. And now it's time to
She
say.
said she was grateful. I'm sorry, Jennifer said she was grateful and she really enjoyed the time and she's looking forward to future events.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay.
This was a beautiful poem. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's time for the goodbyes.
Time to say goodbye, Andrea Bocelli.
Wait, Warren first. I think he wants to say something right. Mickey Mouse Club, now it's time to say goodbye. And then
Yeah, let's
Lee
do
and
that.
I, and then we'll all wave goodbye. So Warren,
Yes,
And if Suzanne wants to say something.
okay, great.
Or
No,
of course.
I think you all,
Stop screen sharing so that we can
Yeah.
see everybody.
Absolutely, thank you. And everybody should now be on gallery view.
I don't know how to do the other.
so I'll begin by just
Bye.
Let's hear from Warren.
Not yet.
for the whole group and each individual.
Not yet, guys.
You did such a great job, and with all your sincerity and warmth, and I always have a renewed interest in poetry after we do a session like this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a lovely afternoon sharing with you and being with you and seeing you. I miss you. I miss all of you. And just thank you for sharing your heart, right? Here's a heart.
I'm gonna sing.
And thank you.
Everybody, let's each give one word for today, for anything that comes to your mind about today.
One
Warren,
word or what?
One
Blessings.
How about heart?
word. Heart. Kathy,
Blessings.
Phenomenal.
Deborah,
Firing.
Liz,
Love.
Tilla,
Heartfelt.
Leda,
Blessings.
Ashria, What?
Elevating.
Elevated,
Elevating.
Leona,
Love.
Milt,
Engaging.
Barbara,
Touch.
Suzanne,
Real.
and I'll say gratitude. So thank you all, and let's all wave goodbye.
It was a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Have
Bye.
the loveliest poetry
Bye, guys.
I've attended, and I've
Thank you.
attended them all. This
Yeah.
takes the cake.
See you on the 18th.
Let's all say that. This takes the cake.
This
This
takes
takes the
Hey,
cake.
hey.
That's a cake